All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into one of the absolute most mind-bending philosophical showdowns in all of mythology. Seriously, if you think you know the classic tale of heroes and villains, you might want to brace yourself. We're looking at a story from our sources that completely flips our understanding of power, devotion, and even cosmic rules right on its head. So we begin with this ultimate paradox. Can the Lord's name actually defeat the Lord himself? I know, it sounds totally impossible, right? Like a complete logical fallacy. But our sources describe this spectacular, almost unbelievable confrontation where Lord Rama, the divine hero of the great epic, ends up aiming his absolute deadliest weapons directly at his most fiercely devoted servant, Hanuman. I mean, how on earth do we even get to a point where a deity is attacking his own greatest devotee? Well, to understand why this is happening, we've got to rewind just a bit to this epic clash of sacred oaths. It all starts with sage Narada, who's essentially acting as the ultimate cosmic troublemaker here, orchestrating a little mischief. On day one, he basically tricks a king named Sukhant into intentionally ignoring sage Vishwamitra at a gathering. Naturally, Vishwamitra is deeply insulted. He demands that his royal student Lord Rama punish this king. And Rama, being completely bound by duty to his guru, vows to kill Sukhant the very next day. But here is the brilliant twist. Narada then sneaks off to Hanuman's mother and actually gets Hanuman to vow absolute protection for that exact same king. So, think about this. We now have Rama sworn by sacred oath to kill and Hanuman sworn by sacred oath to protect. An unstoppable force is literally about to meet an immovable object. And this leads to a climax that offers just a staggering contrast. Picture this. On one side, you have Rama, who's forced to fulfill this vow to his guru. He's unleashing his most devastating arrows, eventually even resorting to the legendary, supposedly unstoppable Brahmastar weapon. And on the other side, Hanuman isn't even fighting back. No weapons, no shields. He simply sits there in a protective circle, completely at peace, surviving by ceaselessly chanting his master's name. Rama, Rama, Rama. It's just wild, and it brilliantly illustrates our first major breakthrough from the source material. The physical weapons literally fail. The arrows change direction midair. Even that ultimate Brahmastra is rendered entirely useless against the chanting of the name. The whole conflict beautifully resolves when sage Vishwamitra, seeing this incredible, unbreakable display of faith, just forgives the initial slight. The ultimate takeaway here, the power of the divine name provides an absolute shield, making even the divine form's physical weapons entirely powerless. Let that sink in. The name of the Lord is actually greater than the Lord himself. Moving on to part 1, the spiritual blueprint, unpacking the Adhyatma Ramayana. Now let's zoom out a bit. The Adhyatma Ramayana represents this highly specific, really beautiful blend. While the standard Valmiki Ramayana focuses heavily on the earthly, action-packed saga, this specific text takes Vedanta philosophy, pure, non-dual intellectual knowledge, and marries it with the cult of bhakti, which is passionate, heart-led devotion. Basically, this text is teaching us that pure intellectual knowledge absolutely must be combined with deep devotion to achieve true spiritual illumination. A sharp mind without a devoted heart, it just won't get you to the ultimate truth, and vice versa. So, you might be wondering, how does this devotion actually manifest in the real world? Well, it's through something called Dasya Bhakti. This is a form of supreme devotion expressed through extreme humility, constant servitude, and selfless action towards the divine. And Hanuman, he is the absolute epitome of Dasya Bhakti. He doesn't just sit around feeling devoted. His devotion is pure, extreme action. Whether it's crossing a massive ocean with a single leap to find Sita, or literally carrying an entire mountain of herbs to save a life, he is solely driven by this burning desire to serve his master. He is the ultimate servant. All right, let's look at part 2, the dark mirror, Ravana's secret devotion. This is where things get really fascinating. In traditional readings, the demon king Ravana is, pure evil, right? But the Adhyatma Ramayana reveals a truly shocking motivation for him, Vidvesha Bhakti. This translates to communion with the divine achieved through intense confrontation, hatred, or mortal dread. According to this text, Ravana isn't just some evil king doing terrible things at random. No, he is actually a devout practitioner of Vidvesha Bhakti. He is using intense enmity as his chosen, highly calculated path to salvation. It's basically a cosmic heist. See, Ravana was fully aware that he was originally a cursed gatekeeper of heaven, and he intentionally chose 3 short lifetimes as the Lord's bitter enemy just to get back to paradise faster. Look at his steps. Step 1. He recognizes that Rama is the Supreme Lord in human form. Step 2. He deliberately abducts Sita. And he doesn't do it just out of blind lust. In fact, the text specifically notes he protected her like a mother when she was in his city. He did it to intentionally provoke an inescapable divine war. And why? Step 3. To be killed directly by Rama. Being slaughtered by the divine guarantees instant spiritual liberation, fast-tracking his return to heaven. Literally, every terrible act was a calculated move to force God to destroy him. Now, if you're thinking, okay, this sounds like a fringe theory, check this out. Ravana privately admits this very thing to his own wife, Mandodari. He says, I know that Rama is Vishnu and that Sita is Lakshmi. By courting death at the hands of Rama, I shall attain to the supreme state. I mean, wow. This shocking admission proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the villain was fully aware of the cosmic play. He utilized hatred as a highly calculated spiritual tool. He didn't actually want to conquer God. He desperately, single-mindedly wanted to be destroyed by him. And so we arrive back at our core paradox. On one side, we have Hanuman, devotion through love, representing Dasya Bhakti. On the other side, Ravana, devotion through hatred, representing Vidvesha Bhakti. The ultimate hero and the ultimate villain are actually dark mirrors of one another. They seem totally opposed, yet they are both relentlessly tethered to the exact same deity. Both of their minds are completely, 100% consumed by the constant thought of Rama. So what should you really take away from this explainer? First, that the power of the name exceeds the physical form, exactly as Hanuman proved when divine weapons failed against his simple chant. Furthermore, devotion is way more complex than just pious prayer. It can manifest as love and servitude, sure, but also as mortal fear and intense confrontation. Ultimately, the true mechanism of liberation here is constant remembrance. Our sources use this amazing analogy. Just as a larva, completely paralyzed by fear of a wasp, constantly thinks of the wasp and is poetically transformed into one, an enemy constantly thinking of God in absolute terror is ultimately transformed by that divine focus. Which brings us to our final thought. Intense focus transforms the thinker. It fundamentally does not matter if your focus is driven by overwhelming love, like Hanuman, or by paralyzing fear and calculated hatred, like Ravana. What consumes your mind ultimately shapes your destiny. These ancient texts are telling us that focusing intensely on a subject literally alters your reality. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative question. Take a look at your own life. What is the true object of your intense focus, and who is it transforming you into?